Guys, in American farming, one of the most beautiful tractors just got added. Let me show you guys this thing. Now this is the K715 Steiger Quadtrac. This thing just looks beautiful. When Case IH first revealed this tractor, I was actually able to go demo it and test drive it in real life at the Farm Progress Show in 2023. At that point, I was like, we have to get this in game. And after 3 months, we finally got this tractor in game and it looks amazing. It's a bigger tractor. The tracks are actually different than the normal Quadtrac. They're a bit taller and they don't feel as lengthy. Now the cost of this thing is a whopping $1 million, and it's actually a little more expensive than that in real life. But there's a reason it costs so much. This thing is a beast. It's got 715 horsepower, and I think it's got peak horsepower of like 770 horsepower. Now when you compare this to a normal Quadtrac like a 620, this thing is a lot bigger than that. It's got a PTO on the rear, it's got a hammer strap, and it's got your hydraulics. This one does not have a 3-point on it, but that's okay because we're going to use this probably for a lot of tillage, a lot of grain carting, and probably we'll put on anhydrous with it. I'm thinking there's no implement that this thing can't pull. Now when you look at the front of this thing, some people were thrown off by the looks. I like it. It's modern, it's sleek, and actually in real life the hood lifts up. Like there's a button just to lift up the hood. It's an electric button, and then the hood just slowly creeps up. So like manually you don't have to raise it at all. It looks really sleek and really modern from the front. The hood design, I'm liking this thing. Okay, let's hop up in the cab and check it out. Now I do have to get a disclaimer. Squad Built is the one that created American farming, and I own the company Squad Built, and we focus more on the exteriors of tractors. We try and make them look really good on the exterior, and on the interior we cut back a little bit on polygons and stuff, but still this interior is looking pretty darn good, especially for a mobile game, which is really hard to run on phones if you have really high poly models. It's got the AFS Pro 1200 monitor, which has like all your auto steer functions built in. I actually used auto steer in the field at the field day when we were testing it out. I mean, this thing is pretty darn sleek. I'm liking it. Before we hook this thing up to an implement, let's go test it out a little bit, see how we're liking this thing from a first person view in the cab. It's looking pretty darn good. I love the view always of looking back at the implement while it's working, just rotating, being able to rotate all the way around. It's probably one of my favorite views when it comes to first person. Top speed of this tractor is 25 miles an hour. I'm going to take you guys to a special place. It's an off-road park, and we're going to just see how this Quadtrac handles there. And I know you don't go off-roading with a brand new 715 Quadtrac, I get it, but I just want to see how the tracks are functioning, how it's pivoting, and how the physics are on it. Actually guys, you know what we should do is pull a bunch of gravity wagons behind this thing, or load this thing down extremely heavy and see what it can pull. I think we'll do that later in the video. Okay, first things first, we got this steep decline that's like really rough. I just want to watch these tracks, see how they're pivoting. Okay, that is pretty darn cool. That is awesome seeing. Now, we've got a bunch of implements to hook the 715 quad up to. I was going to hook it up to the field cultivator, but I think what I'm going to do is actually purchase a 62-foot Blue Jet NH3 bar. We're going to put on anhydrous with this thing. It requires 500 horsepower. Now, we have 715. I think we'll be good. We're going to purchase this, and we're going to purchase twin tanks. Like I said, this 715 quad is going to make these implements seem small, honestly, when we hook them up. Because 62-foot anhydrous bar, that's a dang big anhydrous bar. Got the applicator hooked up, and then we'll back up here. And we have a few fields that are ready to get anhydrous on. So we'll back up to the anhydrous tank, throw anhydrous in her, and this is going to be the first test of the 715 quad. Throw some NH3 in the tank, and we're good. I just can't get over how beautiful this tractor's looking. Like, it looks so slick. The front hood design, I'm loving this thing. Okay, let's start getting the bar unfolded. And this was corn last year. We chisel plowed it, and then we're going to go back to corn this year, which means we need anhydrous on it. So I'll drop down the bar, and we'll start putting anhydrous on. I did have some manure I spread on the ends, and so that's why the ends of this is so dark, is because it's got P&K and nitrogen all on the ends. And then also, some of you guys know this, but this tool actually does a field cultivator pass. It does a secondary, it does what's called a secondary tillage pass. So it basically acts as a field cultivator and a nitrogen applicator at the same time, which is pretty awesome. And the 715 quad is having no issues at all pulling her, even though we're dragging some shanks over some gravel right there. because I'm off on steering. This thing has no problems pulling her. And it looks so dang good from the front. I've always thought Case with their Quadtrac since like 2013, I felt like they've had the same design on the front end. And it's a good thing they changed up the front end design because this, I mean, this looks really sleek and modern across the front. Since we had just finished up tillage on that field, I had the Versatile 620 out in the field. So I'm just going to park it in the Quonset real quick. We may not be able to pull it in all the way, but this should be fine. Can it fit? Oh, just barely. Just barely. I might have just touched the front end of the building a little bit. There we go. And we'll keep rolling with the 715. Okay, we got auto steer on. I'm going to let auto steer do its thing, and that's going to start rolling around the field, do all that. I got another challenge for the 715 quad. I'm going to get it set up. We already have one 715 quad, but I'm going to buy a second one for this challenge. It's not as crazy as one of my other videos, but I think you guys know this challenge. And Bo's sitting here like, are you serious, Grant? Are we going to actually do this thing? So we're going to see if the 715 quad can pull, I don't know how many this is, 10 wagons full of corn? I think I have enough corn for that in the bins. We're just going to test her, try her out, see what happens. And I think Bo's liking the new 715 quad. Now you don't get a second chance at hooking these wagons up. You got to do it the right way the first time. So don't mess it up, Grant. It's working. Okay, we've got about 8 wagons here, which is going to end up being about 4,000 to 5,000 bushels, which is about how much I have in storage. So this should work perfect. I may take out a street side on accident. It's okay. This is just for testing, just to see how this does, because this is a lot of weight we're going to have behind us. And we'll see if all 715 horsepower can pull it. Okay, we've made it to the farm, and we're going to see if it can pull it fully loaded. I've done it with more wagons, more tractors on a 1206. It's going to pull it, but it's always just fun to load them down and test it just for fun, kind of. There we go. We'll load the first one up with corn, and then we got about like 7 more to go. Okay, we got all the wagons full. Meanwhile, our other 715 quad is out putting on smoke, putting on some anhydrous. He is rolling good. So we're just going to give this a test. Easy, 6 miles an hour, and we're probably slipping a little bit because we're on dirt. I'm not sure how much we're slipping. We're going 14 miles an hour. This is pretty darn good. Now we're probably going to get caught pulling through the ditch here. I bet some of these wagons are going to get caught here. Yep, we're slowing down in speed. Crank her up to 5th gear. Oh, she is lugging down a little bit. Oh yeah, seems like 12 miles an hour is all this thing wants to go. This is just insane. Oh gosh, they're going to get caught. Oh, we're going 15. It's because we're going downhill and the wagons are like pushing us a little bit, I think. And we'll just turn in here, swinging wide. Now the last thing I want to test the 715 quad on is the Balzer 2850. I think this is the world's largest grain cart. Holds 2,850 bushels, which is absolutely insane. And that's a lot of weight behind there. So we're going to take the pickup, pull this thing up to the farm, load it with corn, and see how it does. And I know, Grant, you shouldn't be pulling it with a pickup. I know, I get it. Let's see if she can do it. Oh my gosh. It's got all-wheel steer, so it'll literally follow the pickup. That's what I love about this game. We'll get on her a little bit and she'll roll some coal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is too dangerous. Pulling a grain cart this fast. We'll slow her down a little bit. We'll go like 15, 14 miles an hour. We just got to get her to the farm. I mean, that grain cart looks giant on this pickup truck. So to test out the 715 quad, we've got the Balzer hooked up, and I'm going to run the combine, and then we're going to have the AI worker run the combine, and we'll just unload on the go and get that thing full, and just see how she's pulling her. Got the 16-row corn head on the 9240 right now, and it is just eating through this corn. So we've got the Balzer 2850 that we're going to hook up to the quad. And I'm sure it's going to be a little bit before that combine's ready for us, but we're going to start heading out there. Now, in American farming, we like big fields. I mean, that's like truly American style, big fields, big equipment and stuff. It's not smaller stuff. So this is actually the biggest field. It's like a 60 or 65 acre field. And in a video game, 60 or 65 acres is a lot. So biggest thing is you got to be able to have a full grain cart and cruise along in the field like road speed to get back to the semi truck and then to keep the combine unloaded without it stopping. So we're going to see how this does. And speaking of being full, that combine is pretty much almost full. You can literally see the corn coming over the edge. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. We should be there in time. And there we go. We caught the combine. We've got about half a load in the grain cart. Combine is about full and this thing is still pushing 25 miles an hour pretty quick. I got to slow down to first gear, match the combine, unload it. I'm just testing out scenarios to see, how much horse does this tractor really have. Oh yeah, loading on the go, about a half load. Probably got like 50,000-60,000 pounds behind us currently, which you could get up to like 120 or 150,000 pounds if you have this thing fully loaded. And takeoff speed, full throttle, road gear. Oh, we're up to road gear just like that. 25 miles an hour, and you're heading back to the semi, unloading, fold out the auger. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna work pretty darn good. This is literally like mile-long rows we got here. It It is insane how big this field is. But anyways, guys, I think this is going to be the end of the video. Definitely check out the 715 quad if you haven't updated your game, or if you don't have the game, definitely check out American Farming. It's available on the App Store and Google Play Store. And anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.